Hello, I'm Charlene of the Rainbow Frequency, and today I'm coming on here live to connect with you all, which I'm very, very thankful that we have these platforms to be able to reach each other and connect with one another. I'm an energy balancing practitioner. I work through a variety of modes such as card readings, guided meditation, song, dance, table work to provide people holistic, energetic balancing to aid them in processing and releasing trauma, as well as any tension or blockages that they have within themselves so that they can be fully actualized. It is my intention to aid you in your highest good and ways that delight you, mind, body, and spirit, ever, always. So I'm here today to offer you individual card readings, or if nobody wants to jump in and ask for a card reading or ask me a question, I am a psychic medium. I can't tell you everything, but what comes through, I surely will share with you. I have various psychic gifts, so spirit reaches me through a variety of ways. Clairaudient, clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairsentient, amongst other things. So please feel free to ask me a direct question if you like, or if you want me to just pull you a card or anything. Let's just chat if you like, or otherwise I will pull cards for us as a collective if nobody is feeling froggy and wants to jump in. I will slow down as I know there's a bit of a delay as you come in. Again, thank you for joining me here. If you join while I am currently live, or if you come in later, I do offer personal services, so please check out my bio. There's links therein to reach me. Feel free to message me. I do really want to promote community and have a space where we're friends. The Glassdow Fairy would love a card. Would you like me to just choose a random card? Would you like a tarot or an oracle card? And while I wait, I will light the candle. Candles are a beautiful way to call in your spiritual team, create a sacred space, all sorts of lovely things candles bring to the table. I knew you were going to say I choose, so, and I'm feeling drawn to pull you two, so we're going to do two. All right, this is a new deck I've been wanting for a bit. It's Kim Cran's The Wild Unknown Alchemy deck. Very excited. Alchemy, while in literature we think of it as turning a base metal into gold, I really feel that it's more so that we are self-actualizing and creating that inner abundance or gold within ourselves. The Glassdow Fairy, you got ether, the void. Some people find the void scary. Personally, I love the void. To me, it's the womb space. It's that blank canvas that you can create from. I am getting that you've ended one cycle or phase and you're at that threshold initiation period where you're about to step into a new platform, a new stage or terrain is what wants to be said. To me, a lot of times I'll see in my meditative space, like a grass step blend. And as you become enlightened, as you actualize, as you awaken, you can progress to the next platform, terrain, or step up. So that's part of it. I will read you from the deck book. And pardon me while I find it. There we go. Okay. You got liminal, darkness, destiny. The void is a mystical riddle in and of itself. It cannot be understood by means of alchemy, chemistry, science, or spirituality. It astounds the most adept seeker and humbles the philosopher. From the depths of nothingness, all feelings and possibilities are birthed. Behind the curtain of our material world, the power of the eternal spaciousness is at work. This card may appear at a time when something has been released, a relationship, a possession, a title, but the void is much bigger than any worldly entity. When the alchemist approaches the void, destiny shifts in the darkness. Like magnets, you are drawn to it as it is drawn towards you. Meditation is critical at this time. Just sit and breathe, surrender to the vastness. There is an electricity between you and the void that is sacred and timeless. From its center, everything is born. Another thing that wants to be said is that the void, that no mind state, if you will, that we can get to when we meditate, when we focus on breath work, breathing, is that bridge between our physical body and our spiritual body where we can be best reached, but much like when we're dreaming, it is a state where spirit has less resistance to meet us. So meditating really is important because you can really go within your own container and feel what's within you in connection to the universe, your energy, your feelings and emotions. If you're an empath, which a lot of us are, sometimes being out in the world can get a little muddied or confusing because it's hard to not mistake other people's energy or feeling as your own. Okay, so then I also wanted to read you from the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle. Lean into your crystals. I am feeling that you have some, so really lean in, because when you're in these periods of shifting, it is exhausting. You really need to rest. Oh, she says, or they say, sorry. Yes, that makes perfect sense. Thank you. I have my first in-person market stall coming up next week. It feels like I'm stepping into my next level, and my best creations come from that no mind flow. Yes, they do. I mean, a lot of us, when we stop worrying so much, trying so hard, releasing expectations, that's when the magic can happen. And I love that. I wish we were closer because I totally would come and see you. That is the hardest part of these platforms, is that I get to meet amazing individuals that I need lots of money so I can go around the world to connect in person. Lavender aragonite, environmental healing. Lavender aragonite heals your personal environment and Earth's meridian grid and raises the vibration of the planet. Self-understanding. Become comfortable in your own body and environment. Yeah, you're learning to be your authentic self no matter where you go, and that's what really draws people to you. You are a vehicle for purifying and healing the earth, reminding others that it is a sacred, living being to be treated with respect. Pay attention to where you live within yourself. Do your inner housekeeping and nurture yourself. Divination. Become a vehicle for the healing of the environment by opening yourself up to higher vibrational energies. Do not participate in anything that spoils the planet or diminishes its resources. Work with your power animal and nourish your inner being. Take no risks and avoid excesses. Yay! I'm glad that that's happening for you. Power animals, as opposed to spirit or totem animals, are an external animal that helps you by lending you its power or acting as a shield, perhaps, or other protective ways to embolden you to, again, externally come in to aid you. Whereas totem animals, spirit animals, are, to me, more internal and more of a part of your makeup. So really ruminate, if you don't already know, about what creature comes to you when you're scared, when you feel apprehensive, or any time where you need a friend to step in. And personally, lavender, well, aragonite in general, I love. I don't have lavender. I have a more of a rusty, sort of peachy color one. But aragonite speaks to that beautiful mix of earth and water. So grounding and tuning into your emotions to really tap into your creative self. Again, nurturing yourself as well as others around you. So that divine mother energy, your sexuality, your charisma, your spark, beautiful. Yay. Anyone else want a card for themselves? Or I can just launch into reading more for the collective if that's what is more so wanted today. I don't want to bully you into asking me for a card, but at the same time, I love engaging. You're very welcome, Glasto Fairy. I really do enjoy your account, so thank you for playing with me today. And then, hello, Diabolic Nonchalance, Flower Nest Farm, Irfansha 0219. Anyway, thank you very much for being here. I'm not going to scroll through as time goes on to say hello to everybody, but just engaging and allowing for you all to chime in if you would like a card or ask a question or what have you. They spoke in one of the card descriptions about tapping into the grid. When I meditate, I will grow my roots down, either starting from the base of my rib cage or my waist or what have you, my hips, depending on how much rooting I need. I'll grow my roots down from my feet into the earth, through all the layers of the earth, connecting to the crystalline grid, the ley lines, if you will, that energy grid of the earth, then go down all the way to the center of the earth. Then I go up from that midsection up to the cosmos and connect to the Celestine grid. So those energy lines, those ley lines, those song lines of the cosmos, that as above, so below, so that the energies, we're connected as we should be and flowing as we should be, so that it creates sort of a filtration, if you will, because energy moves in waves. So it's just that keeping the flow going. I think of a figure eight flowing and out and back again, like blood flowing through the chambers of a sacred heart. So if you like, use that. In my meditations, a lot of times I'll be a tree when I form my plant body, but other times I've been a cactus, I've been a plant, a flower. After I meditate, I come out and I'll look up whatever it is that I've become, and there's further information, guidance, or wisdom that comes from looking up the symbolism of whatever it is. I find it very exciting and beautiful. So perhaps you might enjoy that. Okay, so since no one's asking for a card, I will launch in. This is another new deck, Awake, Inner Wisdom cards. So collectively, what would you like us to know? We are leading into another full moon this month, if you're watching currently in August. So it's known as a blue moon, a rare occurrence where we have 2 full moons in 1 month. I want to say that I've read that it's also a supermoon, which means that it's closer to the earth and imparting more light to us than if it were far away. Interesting. Ooh, we got nourish and flourish. Love it. Nourish and flourish. So again, as we were talking with Glassdoor Fairy, nourish yourself. If you're shifting gears, if you're moving into another phase, a lot of times that does take a lot of energy and it requires a lot of self-care and rest so that when it's time to go, you are rested and ready to take on whatever presents itself, to make best use of your energy, time, and place, right? Let's see what the book has to say. Nourish and flourish. Nutrients abound when we notice that they have been with us forever. Prosperity consciousness trumps scarcity consciousness. Observe the miracle of desert plants growing and evolving despite the rough terrain. Trust that you have all the resources you need to not only survive, but to thrive in this life experience. Believe and you shall receive. Yeah, mindset is a lot of your experience. If you're going to focus on being negative, glass half empty, then that's what you're going to see all around you. Sometimes things can shock you and surprise you even in that state. But again, if you try to be more in that gratitude attitude, then you'll see more of the positive things around you. You'll be more receptive to tuning into the blessings and miracles that are happening around you. If you're harried, going 1,000,001 directions all at once, you're not going to notice necessarily all the things going on around you. It's harder to be in touch with all of your senses if you're just focused on being in motion. So that's where, again, there's cycles, there's phases, there's a resting time, there's a moving time, there's all sorts of, like if you're dancing, there are different steps and different times where you pause, for example. So, honor those cycles, honor those rhythms, take care of yourself. Your physical body gives you signals as to what it needs. Your emotional body does too, signaling when you need boundaries, when you need to focus on a part of yourself that's been wounded, that needs to be healed. Your intuition, your psychic senses, it's part of that system where your higher consciousness or spirit, your spiritual team, whatever you want to call it, can reach you. So slow down. You're moving too fast. You need to make this feeling last. No, just kidding. Slow down, breathe, take time to meditate. Meditation isn't all sitting still for long periods of time. Like, there are many ways to meditate. Yoga, Tai Chi, walking in nature, even washing dishes. I've said this many times, but when I wash dishes, I can get to that no mind state and hear myself think or process information more. Water for me is very useful in that. Chanting, singing, dancing, running, all sorts of ways that you can get to that no mind state. Monks used to sweep, or no, they didn't used to, they still do, I'm sure. But monks use sweeping as a way to connect to that part of themselves. Waiting tables, folding napkins, rolling silverware. I love to get my zen on rolling silverware. Anyway, I'm going to keep going, but please feel free to chime in if you would like a card or have a question or what have you. Making a mess of my cards. Now we're going to go to a yogic path. To see what the yogis have to say. One of my favorite things is to do the sun salutation or different yoga positions and chant. Feels so good. All right, we got Atman. And I love those eyes. I'll give Instagram close up and YouTube, working 2 channels. So in this meditative state, you tap in to the unity consciousness, your third eye, so your intuitive mind, your psychic and your sight, your higher consciousness, and on up. Atman, infinite aspect of the soul. Blessed soul, you have now begun to see the glimpses of the divinity that exists within you. There's so much more to experience. You are filled with limitless potential and have realized that the only obstacles that exist are within the mind. You have reached a deeper connection to your higher self, highest self, the immortal aspect of your existence, the very seed of your soul, Atman. Your meditation has unveiled hidden depths to your true being and allowed you to experience the vastness that exists inside of you. You have become aware that you are a microcosm of the greater macrocosm, a reflection of the universe. Now bring this expansiveness into the everyday and watch your life unfold. For a lot of us, we're experiencing what I have labeled as the renaissance of our spirituality. We have gone from being consumed by action and being in motion and survival to taking a step within ourselves and reconnecting to that higher consciousness, that soul self, that heart space, realizing there's more that meets the eye. For a lot of us, we're in different stages of this. So, it's a beautiful expansion of consciousness that's rippling outward. Throughout time, we've had different ages, which have been a reflection of how we have been evolving our consciousness. So again, take time to meditate. Take time to sit quietly and reflect. What is the lesson that is available to be learned in each situation? I'm going to pull another alchemical card because I really am excited by them, but for the collective this time. Although I do feel when I connect with a person, there's as much wisdom that I can take in for myself when I meet with a person. It's, again, that oneness. Not that I feel that everything out in the world applies to me. I'm not self-absorbed in that way, but at the same time, like, I try to be reflective and be an observer and perceive how there is information that will help me grow. All right. Too many books. All right, conjuncto. I'll show you the card in just a second. And there's that infinity symbol again. Yin yang, as above, so below. All right. Conjunctio, conjunction. Love, divine union, infinity. Conjunctio is the greatest alchemical operation of love. During this stage, we witness the miraculous work of two opposites merging to create a unique third form. Sun and moon unite to reveal the entire cosmos. Black and white unite to reveal the spectrum of color. Unlike coagulatio, conjunctio represents a consciousness and benevolent union, one that springs forth from awareness, acceptance, and devotion. It is not a compromise, but rather an activation, a holding of tension and presence that allows each of the entities to thrive and express themselves. Experiencing conjunctio is one of the blessings of the human experience. Whether the bond is with human, nature, or divinity, recognize it by stirring your heart, an element of surprise. Through opposites arises the infinite. Again, personally, I feel that we tend to stop at duality, or previously we might have stopped at perceiving things as being dual in nature, whereas it's really more fractal in nature. It's that kaleidoscopic blending, merging, shape-shifting, again, that wave of motion that creates that full spectrum. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it. Again, one thing that stuck out is experiencing conjunction is one of the blessings of the human experience. Whether the bond is with human, nature, or divinity, recognize it by the stirring of heart and an element of surprise. For example, I have a friend who's watching that I have witnessed part of their divinity is with how they engage with animals. You know, it is a gift, it is a talent, it is that soul connection that they feel. They might not feel it as much with humans, but again, it is that divine connection, conjunction, that spark that stirs us, excites us. You know, we are what we love is something that can be applied in a variety of ways. But really, you know, I think a lot of us have amazing divine gifts and talents that we take for granted or we don't see clearly because it's so innate. You know, not everyone has that affinity or ability to connect with animals of all kinds. You know, that is something to really cherish. All right. Anybody want a card? I'm going to keep saying it, but I'll keep going. Let me clean myself up a bit. And again, if you would like a card, try to tell me if you have a preference of card or if you want me to pick. I do have a tarot deck here and a bunch of oracle cards, so let me know. Oh, and I wanted to keep out the cards that I've already drawn. I'll come back and get that. We won't do it now. I try to stay organized and neat. It helps me think more clearly. But sometimes I get wild and messy. All right, from the animals. This is the Spirit Animal Wisdom Oracle deck. And while on YouTube, Flight Risk hasn't joined in, they're out and about in the world doing good things. I want to give a little shout out to Flight Risk. A lovely human who really engages well with animals that's on YouTube, squirrels in particular. All right, from Spirit Animal Wisdom, we got Tiger, Divine Tiding. Good things come to those who wait. Again, taking that step back, being an observer, not feeling compelled overly into action, you know, take a step, breathe, take in the changes, the terrain, all that's around you. Then, through utilizing all your senses, you make the next move. Like if you've ever watched a cat stalking something, it does that very much so. Muscle by muscle, you know, you see that wave of muscles rippling through them as they take their steps. You know, you see them taking in the surroundings, smelling, hearing, all of it, to then decide when the right moment it is to pounce. Tigers and spirituality. Orange is, again, that divine feminine, sacral chakra, your emotions, your passion, your creativity. Black, the ancestral realm, your root chakra, being grounded in the material plane. And then white is that highest consciousness, crown chakra, or, you know, all the way up. They're more than just the 7 chakras. So it is utilizing all of that together to make a move. And a lot of things, being patient and awaiting proper timing is the hardest part. Not feeling rushed, not wanting to push before it's time to push. Like if you've ever given birth, breathe, Everything has its rhythm. Everything has its timing. Even though you might be frustrated as hell and wanting to move forward, you gotta await the divine timing. Unless you schedule your birth, I suppose. All right. Ooh, 2. And I didn't tell you. This is Work Your Light Oracle Cards by Rebecca Campbell. Sorry I haven't said everyone's names. They're not all on the decks per se. All right, we got Keepers of the Earth. You're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Scientifically speaking, we have learned that we carry the memories, or we can carry the memories of our ancestors through our blood. Some of us perhaps reject that connection because of the trauma in their line, whereas others are more receptive and tuned into it. Semantics. Whether you're tuning in to your own past lives or the past lives of the ancestors and the wisdom that you carry to best serve you as you move through your life. Does it matter? I mean, it does and it doesn't. But yeah, we are physical vessels that are housing an eternal soul that, again, has so much wisdom, power, and ability to be harnessed if you allow yourself access to yourself. I can't say it enough. The more you know yourself, the better you can move through life and achieve what your heart and soul longs to experience. Have a great day, Glassdale Fairy. Thank you so much for joining. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. You came here to learn and grow. So slow down and be cognizant of this. And again, take a moment. Tune in. What is available and wants to work with you? What is it? What wisdom is it that you hold? Tune in. Instead of tuning out and being numb or absorbed by everything around you, try tuning in. Then we also got Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah, a lot of us are having to let go of scarcity mindset, limiting self-beliefs. A lot of us are the members of our families who have decided that enough is enough. We're not carrying those patterns forward any longer. We don't want our children to have those experiences. So we're the torchbearers, if you will. We're the ones that are healing the lines so that things can shift positively, There has been a lot of trauma that the world has experienced, but now it's time to process, turn it into wisdom, and move forward. Let go of old skins, old concepts, constructs, patterns. Break free. Heal yourself. Heal your world. And we'll go to the tarot. Oracle cards kind of set the flavor of the reading, I guess, and then tarot cards are the map as to how to proceed within that energy. That's one way of articulating it. Or oracle cards are direct messages from spirit or your higher consciousness, whereas, again, tarot to me is more of a map, more of that how to move within the terrain. And this is the Lord of the Rings tarot. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Wands, Eight of Wands, Ace of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and Four of Pentacles. And then we'll take one more from the middle. Nine of Wands, sorry. All right, bottom of the deck cards. Again, Queen of Wands, Nine of Wands. It is a cycle of us letting go of the things that aren't ours to carry, letting go of what drains us and isn't constructive to our existence. It's also a time to really look at your passions, look at the elements in your life that fuel you. Again, letting go of what isn't working, reconfiguring it perhaps, seeing how they can connect together to create something that's stronger and can get you where you want to go. I think of the wands as, if a magician has a wand, they use that wand to bring what they want within their heart and soul, what they want to create with their magic into the material plane. So, again, we're in a period of reconstructing how we perceive the world, ourselves, and everything therein in a lot of ways, and coming into alignment to our truths. And again, if you're here to learn and experience and grow, what is it that you came here to do? What is it that you want to do with your time? What is it that you want to cultivate with your energy? So again, I'm getting that sense of when you're harvesting wheat, you cut away the parts that you don't need to focus on what will bring you that abundance, what will nourish you and sustain you. And then with Queen of Wands, it is that very much, I think of in tarot, it's all about a progression. You start with 1, you move your way to 10, then you go up to the major arcana, or the court cards rather, and then the major arcana. And it's all about that progression and growth or evolution of self. So the queen is almost to that king, which is, in one essence, mastering your spiritual self, your spiritual body, your passion, your ability to manifest. But you're nurturing that fire within you. You see in this card this figure watching as their ships make way. You see the dove, that higher consciousness, that peace within themselves. There are other birds as well up in the horizon line. You see them holding this staff. They're the conductor. So again, nourish yourself. Nourish that fire within. Nourish and foster that relationship you have with the world around you, the universe, spirit. Where we are currently, 8 of Wands. It is, again, that time of awaiting information, awaiting things to reach you, awaiting things to come together. It is movement. I'm going to read the 8 of Wands to you from a different book, but anyway. This is a card of movement and transition. If life has been feeling overwhelming, know that a positive change is still very possible. Now is the time to take any initiatives and grasp any potential opportunities that come your way. Once you focus on a specific task or goal, there is nothing you cannot accomplish. It is the self-direction, determination, and confidence that comes with clarity, vision, and drive. Additional meaning: adventure, change, travel, newfound success. See how we have this spider and all the different eyes. So it is that time of keeping your eyes peeled on all the goings on around you, on all the planes, mind, body, spirit. Feel like spiders. I love this depiction because spiders, I feel, are such great energy readers. They're sitting there on that web, that grid. They can feel the vibrations around them, and they tune in to where they need to go. So use this time, tap into your spidey senses, feel the vibrations, how things affect you physically, mentally, emotionally, all the things. Weave it together. The obstacle is that this is a new beginning. It is something that's unfamiliar. That is why you have to be slow and read the vibrations, read the energy, really tune in to what you're feeling, what you're perceiving, the information that's coming in. Don't dismiss your inner knowing because of outdated beliefs or thoughts, or that's not how I've done it before. You can see this is showing new growth that's breaking ground. So allow yourself to break ground. Allow yourself to have a breakthrough. Be uncomfortable and tune into it so that then it can become familiar. It's not going to last forever, this uncomfortability. Like if you think about when you start a new job, when you start the first day of school, what have you, you have all that anticipation, apprehension. Then in a couple months' time, you don't even remember ever having felt like you were faltering. So give it some time and know that it's a new cycle, it's a new phase, it's a new experience that you're going to grow from. Advice from Spirit, 5 of Pentacles. Again, let go of that lack mentality. Traditionally in this card, you see figures outside of a church feeling very impoverished, and if they just realize that if they turn to Spirit, they would have that inner abundance, that illumination that they're looking for. So again, it's that let go of scarcity, lack, poverty mindset. Let go of the fear as best as you can. Really in life, tune in. Is this something that I really need to be afraid of? Is this something that I really need to take steps to avoid or change? Or is it my ego being overly cautious and trying to protect ourselves unduly? It's learn to bring all your aspects to the table in communication so that you can best serve yourself. Don't necessarily kill your ego, but learn to balance it out, yin and yang. Then that leads to the 4 of Pentacles. Again, it's creating foundation, stability. Again, working towards letting go of that lack mentality in exchange for a solid foundation. Pentacles tend to be more slow moving, so don't expect it to develop swiftly. You want something that's slow and steadily building, that's stable, secure, and sustainable. There we have it. That is all that I'm going to do for the collective. I'll give you a few more minutes if anyone wants to chime in for a specific card for themselves or anything, question, what have you. Again, I very much enjoy sharing space with you, coming together, building community. I am a small business of one. I meet with people online, or if you're here in Richmond, Virginia, I do meet with people in person. I do things around town later this afternoon or later today. I'm going to be doing an energy balancing self-care guided meditation workshop at Sneed's Nursery. But I go here, there, and everywhere. So if you'd like to have an event or host a party for you and your friends to further work on either balancing your own energy, having a guided meditation, or card readings, let me know. And I am here if you would like to message me and have any questions. So best wishes, all love, be well holistically, and thank you for your likes, shares, and love. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.